Hey everybody, Drama Chick here. I just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and apologize that my Halloween episode is happening now. When I first tried to make this video, the audio was all messed up, so I had to fix all that and pretty much re-record all the dialogue that is in the live action segments. I hope I did a good job, and I hope you all enjoy this, and happy Thanksgiving again. Thank you all for being patient with me.
Hey everybody, Hachiko's discovered something really strange on the net, so he's having me investigate. More or less, my instructions are to look and see if I can find any cat videos. Keyboard cat. Kittens play in a basket. Cats. Well, you're right, Hachiko. There are no cat videos on YouTube. Or anywhere else. I can't get anything to come up.
It is on my computer as well. From the looks of things, cat videos are disappearing all over the city of Memphis. If this keeps up, they will soon be gone from all America.
That's Disney evil! Look, let's go find him, kick its ass, and hurt whatever it is.
That would be great if we knew where he, she, or it was.
You don't know where he is.
No, I do not. However, I should be able to use my power to find him in a few minutes. You had better do a review to get more reviewer power so you may defeat him when we find him.
I could do a review, but it's Halloween, man. I can't do a Halloween review dressed like this. I need a costume.
You should have enough reviewer power for a costume.
I get a costume? Awesome.
Yes, it is a standard magical girl power. Hold out your hand and I will give it to you. Here you go. A dice with kanji written on it? Yes, and your costume will be based on whatever number pops up, but I must warn you, there is a good chance it could weaken you to the point you cannot use your powers.
No, I so don't care if this ends up making it so I have to power down for a while, cause I could go a week or two without the Sailor Moon dangles. Trying to use a table saw with these is a pain in the ass. Alright. Let's give it a shot.
Oh, no!
Well, that did a whole lot of nothing. I stand corrected. I now have a kimono. Awesome. Wait. No, it's a yukata. False alarm. Darn it. One day I will own a kimono. Well, hey, I can't do that one. The film we're looking at today is from China. So, ni hao ma, depending on, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world, what time zone you're in. I would have said all that in Mandarin too, but my Mandarin isn't very good, so sorry. I'm the Drama Chick, and happy Halloween, everyone! Yes, my favorite time of year, the time of pumpkins, costumes, and binging out on candy until you explode. But it's more to that. For me, as the protector of creativity on the internet, it is the day of creativity, being unique, and showing your own individuality through what you mock. And by the way, if you don't want to go with Halloween, happy All Hallows Eve and Samhain. There you go, who you guys bone to. Alright, now we got that stuff out of the way. In honor of this most wonderful time of the year, let's talk about vampires. No, not him. Asian vampires. Not him either. Although he is an incredibly awesome guy who actually is the one who showed me this movie and told me about it. So, dude, you're awesome. But no, I'm talking about these vampires. Yes, I am serious. This is Mr. Vampire.
你唔使擔心㗎，好快脆就會冇事㗎啦。
我從來都冇擔心過。
咁你唔驚我變僵屍㗎？
唔驚，不過怕啫。嗱，你睇下，一啲反應都冇嘅。
九叔啊，到底佢遇到隻咩鬼啊？
我諗佢遇到隻女鬼。
咁有冇事㗎？
冇事嘅，比文財好得多。
哇！咁多咖喱雞，呢隻梗係印度鬼嚟嘅。乜你去過怡紅院咩？冇啊。
怡紅院係咩地方嚟㗎？
哦，去茶樓啊。
咩話？
周家。
你話咩話？
雞竇。
你救我！
小姐。
大家唔好退。
Different from the European. Now, I will talk about some of the tropes as we go on with this, but unfortunately I have actually no real vampires this kind to see if they'll work. Maybe next year. Now, Mr. Vampire was made in the late 80s. Mr. Vampire itself is a great movie for one reason alone. Not just because it's legitimately entertaining, but because it is something very clever with the vampires. They trick us into believing they're scary by having comedy happen around them, but never to the vampires themselves. I know y'all don't believe me, but we'll get into that in the review. So, let's start in the Taoist temple,
where our man Dan here is giving incense sticks to vampires.
Why does this guy have a bunch of vampires?
Well, instead of answering that question, they decided to show us this bit instead, and oh dear. He's gonna look in the box, isn't he? Yep, that was expected. Well, Dan falls over, sees the pitter-patter of vampire feet, and decides to be sensible and grab a mirror for protection, and check to make sure all the vampires that are there are supposed to be there. Apparently, this guy is a different vampire. They have a struggle, and in the struggle, the tags on the others fall off, allowing them to walk around. And yeah, it's just some guy. I would give you his name, but I'll worry about that later. Instead, we should ask the question,
besides why you're being an asshole, is why do you have vampires in the crypt?
well, it doesn't seem to matter because he douche and now they did.
Ridiculous, it is wonderful.
While fleeing for their lives, they run into Master Ko, who is like Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures, only badass. And this random guy, who apparently is the owner of the army of vampires, and they subdue them by putting blood on their foreheads for some reason. But still.
Why do you have an army of vampires? What on earth would you do with that? Do you plan to go kill Edward Cullen?
Since we are given no other reason, I am still going with that. This guy in the yellow coat has an army of vampires, and they are going to try and kill Edward Cullen before he becomes a vampire and be the star of the Twilight franchise. Go forth, brave men. I wish you luck on your journey.
As I said it is true.
Well, after last night's excitement, Dan and Harry meet with this guy who is hiring them to do a reburial because some fortune teller said it'd make him prosperous or something. It's not really made clear. And they are joined by the guy's shrewish daughter, whose name is Tina. She's weird. She drinks tea with a spoon. Now, let's get to the guy who was just as a vampire last night, which is, the Gisyuts, whose name is actually Harry. He works for this lady and is told to wait for a whore. And look who comes in. Hilarity is bound to ensue. Yeah, you have these wonderful bits of the double entendre between them. Him making comments of, yeah, this is good for your profession, and her being utterly confused until Dan shows up and completely spills the beans. Well, we are now at the part of digging up the corpse of the man who will soon be our vampire. You can kind of tell he looks really well preserved. Master Ko looks and immediately suspects, mostly because I think due to the very long nails. He has his students mark them with this stringy thing. However, they do not mark the bottom. We then go to these guys who are painted like Jigsaw, carrying around the high ghost lady who serves absolutely no point in the movie except for a stupid subplot.
I'm serious, we don't learn her name until her last scene.
Well, she decides to switch a ride with Harry, only to have this happen to her. We then meet Wei, who is a worse cop than Chief Wiggum.
Whoa, that was close.
While Master Ko and this guy go to talk business, the guys decide to flirt with Tina, but Wei has the hots for her too, so puts a stop to it right quick. So the guys then decide to use black magic to make Wei do a striptease. No.
Ew! Stop! I don't want to see the cop! I don't want to see that guy! Oh, God! I can't unsee that!
Let's get to something better. Alright, the coffin, and hello, look what's going on here. Well, it looks like the marks are able to keep the vampire encased. Nope, spoke too soon. Oh yeah! Well, the guy decides to go and kill his relative because, let's face it, this guy was never really given a name, so he's bound to die. Next day, at the Bloody Corpse, our wonderful Inspector Wei here decides to show his wonderful smarts by deciding that the only way it could have been killed is with long fingernails, which apparently all the old guys have.
Okay, I'm gonna ask, why do all the guys in this movie, well, at least the older men, have a long thumbnail and a long pinky nail?
Anyway, Wei decides to arrest Ko and tortures him. Wait, it was just a pigskin? Well, that's still horrible. And he also brought the corpse to the police station. Thankfully, Harry shows up when everyone's gone and gives him the stuff he needs to make the chi spell Umo gwegwe fighty sao! Umo mwegwe fighty sao! Harry then puts it on him.
Please tell me this is what happens next.
We have reached near.
Well, Wei shows up and proceeds to be stupid and wake up the vampire. And the following scene has a lot of great tension and some legit scares, all from how they treat the vampire. Yeah, there are comedy bits, but it mostly involves Wei and how he gets hurt by hurting his butt and then getting burned as he was gonna do to Ko. But the vampire itself, as you can see, is treated as a legit threat, and by treating it as a true threat, the audience can then believe it. The vampires are not treated as silly. Well, back to the story. They use the same stuff that they used to mark the coffin against the vampire, which has the apparent ability to make vampires explode into a ball of flame.
That was a beautiful fight, guys. Beautiful fight. Wonderful choreography. But you should have let the asshole cop die.
Well, Dan, meanwhile, has been protecting Tina from the vampire, who comes in bouncing like Tigger, so...
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of spring. The bouncy, flouncy, flouncy, bouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one.
Well, Wei shows up with the army and they do jack and all. However, Dan has been bitten and is slowly becoming a vampire. The only way to make sure he doesn't change is to have him dance around like an idiot and lay on sticky rice. However, they are low, so Harry is sent to go get more.
Sticky rice. I've just been using it for eating. Who knew it could protect you against the undead?
Well, Harry gets the rice, but they mix regular rice with it, making it completely useless against vampires. Well, now back to Ghost Lady, who draws a man in by the power of her boobs. And Harry, seeing this fake attack, saves her, and that poor fisherman, well, she decides to get Harry alone, and they make whoopee. Very, very rough S&M whoopee, by the looks of things.
Oh my. Looks like, somebody had a real rough night.
Dan, meanwhile, is slowly becoming a vampire. Wei is actually being proactive to try and find the vampire, but he is hiding in a cave and getting stronger. Ko followed Harry to his ghost friend's house, and he wrote words on his chest that can only be described as cockblock. Well, she is apparently beautiful, but Ko uses leaves to see that she's really ugly. Well, Ko, not wanting any of this, decides to bust in and kick some ass. And then, wow, she's got a bad hair day going. You know, this whole fight sequence is really cool, and for some reason, I now want to watch Return to Oz. I am not sure why. Anyway, Ko uses Nuclear Sword on Ghost Lady, who wakes up Harry, and makes Harry believe that Ko is actually Wei. A great fight scene ensues. I really wish I could show it to you in its entirety, but we would then be here all day. Ghost Lady is able to get out of her bonds and escape, which destroys the house and brings Harry back to his senses. Well, that night, Master Ko is ready to do some ghost busting with his epic posing. Tina apparently is still in this movie, and she is protecting Harry and Dan from the ghost and other forces. Well, Ko is able to keep ghosts out of the house with tags and sword, but Dan has become a vampire. During the fight, the ghost lady is able to look in and see that her man's in trouble. Considering she's trying to steal Harry's soul, she's actually very nice in trying to save him. Also, while this awesome fight is going on, I want to give some props to the makeup and effects. The makeup and effects in this movie are amazing, as you can see with Dan's vampire makeup. Well, Ko's able to do the ghost by the power of the balance. But Harry decides to let her go, considering that she saved his life and all, so bye, ghost lady, you are completely pointless. Now to deal with the movie's actual villain.
Alright, now normally, one thing I really wanted to do with this show was, unlike other reviewers, not only would I expose y'all to something that you may or may not have heard of, but I also don't really want to give away the endings if the movie is good. I want to encourage you to see it yourself. However, I will make an exception for this film. To the resolution!
Well, after Tina sorted all the rice and Dan had a rice bath, he is now cured of his vampirism. Wade shows up to let everyone know the vampire's coming. Dan and Harry barricade the house in hopes to protect Tina, but that works about as well as you'd expect. Well, they barricade the house with wood, and the sticky rice gives our vampire nasty foot burn. Ko and Wei return for all the good Wei will apparently do in this fight, and the vampire gets in the house via skylight. Well, during the fight, Wei does get one moment to almost be badass. Vampire is jumping for Tina. He grabs a log, and he swings at the vampire and misses. Then our best fighters, Harry and Ko, are fighting the vampire, whose head is harder than steel, with epic kung fu. Harry grabs that string they used on the last vampire, thinking it'll work on this guy. However, he is so strong it doesn't make him burst into flames. Oh look, it's that army of vampires and that guy in the yellow jacket. I wonder if he was able to kill Edward Cullen or not. Well, he sees Harry play leapfrog with our main villain, and decides to send his army of vampires to kill our main evil vampire, thus proving my theory that he has these guys solely to kill vampires. Even if they're not very good against him. Well, using his Bell of Awesome, he is able to get his vampires to hold our main villain, who then throws them like they were dolls. Well, after catching him with a chandelier with oil, they then set him on fire. Yes, this is wonderful. So they were saved by this random guy who only appeared at the beginning and end of the movie.
I want a movie about him! Yay! Happy endings! Well, that was Mr. Vampire. So, what do I think? Go see it! This movie is hilarious, but it also has great characters and an engaging story. And the way that they incorporated the vampires to actually be scary by having none of the comedy really happen around them was a brilliant stroke, especially considering even in Asian countries, I think, it's a little ridiculous. Let's face it, when you have an undead corpse bouncing with his arms like this, it's kind of hard to take that as a legit threat. Well, that's the review. Saichin and Yo Hachiko, did you figure out where that guy was?
You are not going to believe this, but the guy is literally right next door.
Next door? Are you serious? Oh. Well, if y'all excuse me, I am going to kick the ass of whoever is trying to rid the internet of cat videos. And, what?
Are you going to keep wearing that?
Yes, I'm keeping this.
But you may run out
Oh,
of
come
color.
on, Hachiko. I'm not gonna wear my battery out. I can handle it. Alright. Here I go to save the day!
Just a little bit longer than cat videos will be off the internet.
I'm here to chew bubblegum or kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Alright, now turn to face me, you stuffed kitty.
I am not just some stuffed kitty.
What are you going to do, drama chick? You can't beat up cats on the internet. The commenters will kill us.
You're right, I can't be a cat on the internet.
win! I win!
I get so much flack.
You will not stop it soon. I will have all cat videos erased from the internet.
You guys don't want to see what I'm about to do.
What are you doing?
So trying to get cat videos off the internet, huh? Take this and this.
Meow, you can't do this. You're hurting me.
Yes, I'm hurting you. I'm gonna hurt you some more. Take this and this, and now into the garbage with you. Excellent job, Drama Chick. You saved cat videos off the internet. Drama Chick, are you okay?
Hachiko, what's happening to me?
Out of power.
You didn't tell me that could happen.
Yes, I did. I recall trying to warn you several times.
Okay, so how do I power down?
Just say power down.
Power down. Okay, note to self. Never, ever overextend the powers again. Oh my god, my head. Hachiko, what's this?
That is a necklace which you can use to transform back once you recharge.
You're not even trying to say you're not copying Sailor Moon, are you, anymore?